Want to make a podcast? Spotify's got a platform that's going to let you make one super easily. And then you can distribute it everywhere and even earn money doing this. All in one place. And it's free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters. Here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and even edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else podcasts are heard.
Ever since we discovered Spotify for Podcasters, it's been really great. Really get the people involved and ask questions and get ideas for new podcasts. So it's really helped us. And I highly recommend you give it a try. So download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started.
If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you, sir?
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got. If you don't like what we tell you to believe in, we'll kill you.
All right, kids. Listen.
Don't
Podcast
listen to this.
if you're not of age.
What's of age?
This is 18 and up. Look, we're a bunch of dudes, and we're going to say some really bad words. And probably some things that might offend you. But
Don't listen to this.
can't wait till you listen.
Yeah, don't
If
do
you're
it.
18 and up.
Don't do it.
If you're 18 and up.
Yeah. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Conspiracy Podcast. I'm Eric.
I am Sean.
This is Jorge. What's up, guys?
Welcome back to another episode.
Oh,
Hope you guys are doing good.
I know. Hope you're enjoying your commute, or if you work at home, your
Workout, your walk.
yeah.
I don't know.
Or if you're independently wealthy, message us. We'd love
Yeah.
a sponsorship. We'll shout you out 17 times an episode.
Okay, so this is an episode, and this is actually going to be a series, and this is on UFOs, UAPs, Roswell, Area 51.
Yeah, the whole smorgasbord.
Yeah, well, this is going to be the series on UFOs.
Yeah.
We're going to touch on Roswell.
All things unidentified.
Yeah, we're going to touch on Roswell. We're going to touch on
Area
ancient
51.
Area 51, ancient UFOs.
Yes.
We're not going to get so much into the whole ancient aliens, but we will get into the UFO part
Aspect
of it.
of that. Yes.
Because Eric doesn't subscribe to that, but me and Sean,
Ancient employees.
Yeah, well, let's see. I'm sure you guys will hear as I'm telling this story, they're going to jump in with, well, well, that's some bullshit right there.
So well, Eric knows nothing and did no research. So
But here we go. We're going to start, and we like to do where we tell the beginning of something and then move forward and try to understand what happened, how it happened, who are the players.
we're storytellers.
Yeah, and then maybe
it's been happening for thousands of years.
that's right. That's right. So UFOs, unidentified flying objects.
I mean, technically, if there was just a plane that didn't have a call sign, would that be an unidentified plane?
Yeah,
absolutely.
okay.
It's unidentified.
They also nowadays they call it a UAP,
I know. They had to change it. They had
What is that?
unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So why they changed it?
They were probably just trying to change the SEO.
Yeah.
It's like people can't search it. They don't know. They're like, "Where's the new shit on the UFOs?"
It's true. I mean, I guess they think UFO goes with alien.
Yeah, it's true.
And
so
UAP goes with
anything.
like an
Which
anomaly. An
like,
anomaly in the
Yeah,
in the,
exactly.
the whole thing. So hopefully we won't get off on a tangent about other universes and galaxies and other human
Or hopefully
aliens.
we will.
Yeah, we definitely are going to.
Hopefully we can stay the course.
No,
But
0%.
we'll see. So
What's the over under on time before we delve into that? Like 6 minutes, 7 minutes.
Let's get into it now.
You know what? Now that you bring it up,
But here, I want to ask at the very beginning. Have you had a UFO experience?
I have. Yes,
You have.
I have
you?
not. No.
You've
Then
not.
mine's
Sean?
really quick
Here we go.
because I've always wanted to, and
Yeah.
like I never had it. So for a little bit of time, my parents had a wedding rental business where like they would
Okay.
rent
Oh,
out
yeah.
tables and chairs
Yeah.
and like all this like cool shit for weddings. So I was helping them. We had to go over the Skyway Bridge to go there.
It's in like Tampa.
yeah, I remember
Tampa,
you telling me about
It's
this.
like,
St. Pete connector. Kind
Yeah,
of thing.
exactly. So it's a huge bridge. It goes like really high in the air. So we're coming back, and it's like 1:30, 2 a.m. and I'm in my dad's car with my brother, and my dad's in the U-Haul behind us with
Okay.
all the shit in it.
Yeah.
And so we're going up the Skyway, and I'm on the phone with my dad.
Okay.
So I'm on the phone with my dad. We're talking about something, and all of a sudden, literally, my signal just deletes. Zero signal, no signal.
Okay.
The phone drops, and I look, and it's like no signal. There's no bars, no nothing. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
What
Okay.
year is this?
This was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Oh, this is brand new.
Oh no, wait, no, sorry, 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 years
okay.
ago.
Okay.
And
Because I mean, if you said 98, I'd be like, well, the phone service maybe dropped, and it's not a big deal.
no, it was before my. It was one
But
of
don't
my
you
parents.
usually have bad service in that area anyway?
I've never had a call drop on the Skyway.
Jorge's like shooting holes right
I
No,
know.
Where were you exactly on the bridge?
No, I've personally never had a call drop on.
I do.
on,
I do, by
on the
way.
Skyway.
But
Probably have T-Mobile.
but the rest of this is super cool.
No, at the time I had Verizon, and
Which they're the most reliable.
yeah, I was like, we were then.
Per them.
No,
Per-
I used
per
to-
rooters.
Per them.
That
No,
was
I
like-
used to have it.
Isn't that their slogan?
I now have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can you hear me now? Nope. So
All right, go.
we're going, and the call drops, and I'm like, oh, that's fucking weird. And I'm trying to call him back, and so nothing. And then all of a sudden, I just when I look over, because on the Skyway, I just look over, and I literally see it's a fucking orb, like an orb of green light. It's a green orb, and I'm
Just like neon green.
dude, it's vibrant green. If you could see our roadcaster, it's like that green.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Neon-y.
Yeah,
Not,
so,
I mean.
so it's like a neon green, and it's
Yeah.
and
So it's not like a faint thing. You're like,
No.
what is that? It's
and
like,
and just I just want to preface this with like this thing is static, not moving, and so I don't. Most of you, if you're not from Florida, you don't know the causeway. The Skyway Bridge. It's called the Skyway for a reason. It's like 200-300 feet in the air,
Yeah, it's
400
huge.
feet in the air.
it's
It's,
a very,
huge.
it's very sharp up.
It's up, and
and
you're
down.
fucking high, and it's windy as.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You're going 70, 80, and like your car's getting pushed around because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like windy as shit. And this thing is static. And my brother sees it too. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Is it a drone or something?
Yeah.
Okay, weird. And this is 2 a.m. And literally this ball goes, "Bit," and then it's over there. I'm like, what? And it goes, "Bit, bit," and then like literally goes boom, boom, and like back and forth. I'm like, what the fuck? And then it goes, pew, and it just fucking goes up in the air and disappears.
Really?
And we're, what the fuck? Trying to call my dad. And then literally, cell service comes back. I don't know, maybe like a minute and a half, 2 minutes later. And then the first thing on my dad's mouth was, what the fuck was that? And you saw it? He's like, of course I fucking saw it. What the fuck was that? And it was almost,
like how big was it?
I mean, I can't,
Like
it was all I was.
also
it
how
was,
far was it?
It was just light. So, I mean, it was probably away from me, I don't know, maybe 50 feet, 60
Wow,
feet
wow,
away.
pretty
Close.
And it was just like a ball.
At the top of the bridge, basically.
Top of the bridge,
Over the
ball.
water, essentially.
And so my first thought was like, okay, it's a drone of some sort.
Sure.
But the fact that it moves so fast, it almost just like appeared in a different place, and then it
Yeah.
appeared back, and then went boop, 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 and then just flew into the air, and I didn't have any plausible explanation for how it could move that fast.
and how big was it?
I mean,
Like size of a car, size of a plane.
It's hard to say because it was
It's hard
outside
to
of the
say.
car that
and
he
also,
was in.
and also
Yeah.
it's pitch black, and all I see is
True.
a light, so I don't know how big. I couldn't see anything other than the light,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I can't give
size
you
of a car or bigger.
I don't know. The light itself was probably for how big it was. I mean, from my vantage point, I can't tell. I can't tell you. If something was right in front of me, imagine a stop sign like right in front of you.
Yeah.
That's how big the light appeared, as if. But that's from
Yeah.
50 to 100 feet away.
Okay.
That's how big it was.
Okay.
But it looked that big.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
if it bring it close, it's probably way bigger. But it was the fucking wildest shit.
Wow.
And
sounds-
I didn't have any.
2 a.m, you know?
I was trying to make an explanation for it. I was
Sure.
trying to understand
logical
how,
explanation.
what could have done that.
Yeah.
And it was so fucking fast. It was just pew, 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 and then just like flew up and it was gone.
Yeah.
So that was my UFO story. And the fact that the cell signal died as soon as it showed up.
Yeah.
Cell signal died.
And then it comes back as soon
And
as it's gone.
yeah.
Yeah.
And literally 15 seconds after it left, the cell signal came back.
Because your dad
crazy.
called.
Yeah, because me and my dad was, after we got home, we sat and talked about it
Yeah.
for like an hour.
Yeah.
And he said he was repeatedly dialing, as soon as he was repeatedly hitting my number the whole time.
What's crazy about that story is that there's somebody else.
Yeah, my dad was in the car behind me.
Usually these stories are, I'm out in the woods.
Alone.
Jerking off. And then, I see, and then it's like, and then you're all by yourself and you're like, ooh.
And I was in the car with my brother and he saw it too. So there's 3 people that saw the same thing.
Interesting.
And we're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But that's my only experience.
Okay, so aside from alien, could you find an explanation?
No.
Really?
I couldn't.
Like
Not something that moves
that fast. It was way too fast to be a drone, dude. It was instant. It was like almost instantaneously.
Were you driving?
Yeah, I was driving.
Yeah.
And my brother was in the passenger seat next to me.
Yeah.
And also, I guess the cell signal part of it, like, I don't know.
That was just weird.
What do you explain
Some
that?
sort of like electromagnetic.
Well, no,
but then
shutdown.
But then it would affect your car.
No, it would affect. It would an
Actually, no.
EMP affects all electronic devices.
But based on the technology we know.
This would be like
It's
something
based on what we know on how to EMP. You know what I mean?
Well, no, but the thing is, how do you prevent waves?
Cellular.
Radio waves.
We don't know.
I don't know if there's any technology to
we don't
stop a
know.
wave.
Yeah.
I don't.
But from the sounds of it, they know. As in the UFO.
Whatever the thing
The UFO,
is, could stop radio waves from, because that's what is emitting from your phone. It's a radio.
Hey guys, are you obsessed with us?
That's cool.
I am.
Can you just
like
not
that.
get enough?
That's all right. We don't blame you.
We just launched a Patreon and Spotify exclusive content. There are 2 ways you can sign up for exclusive content. The first is through Spotify. There's a link in our profile description that links you to the Spotify premium page. And that's only $2.99 a month. And it gets you an ad-free experience and it gets you extra episodes that come out every month. The other way is through our Patreon. All you got to do is go to Patreon and search The Conspiracy Podcast, and you'll find us. There are many different levels there, all giving different amounts of content.
And you get a lot of bennies with this, like maximum bennies. No ads.
You get some exclusive discounts on our merch.
Oh yeah, you get access to our. We had a Discord.
Yeah.
You want to like talk to us in real time?
Do you want to yell at us constantly live?
Yeah. Do you want to have free access to cuss us out without any repercussions whatsoever?
Or just simply suggest a new episode that we got to do.
There you go. And on top of it, you get 5 free mini episodes right out the gate.
And then 1 a month from then on.
What is a
right.
mini episode, real quick?
A mini episode is basically a conspiracy or a mystery where it just doesn't warrant a full hour-long episode.
So go to conspiracypodcast.com/Patreon.
Wave.
Yeah.
And so it stopped that from happening.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
It was really weird. Dude. I was freaked out. I was genuinely freaked out. I always thought I'd be super pumped.
Alright.
Like, yeah, alien. I was terrified. I was
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
terrified. I was like, because I'm on a bridge. Like,
Right,
what if they
totally.
nuke the bridge? I'm dead.
totally.
Like,
You should have had your brother take out the phone camera.
camera.
dude,
I
we
know.
were in awe. We were.
Well, yeah, you're
we were
like,
kind of
holy
like,
shit,
dude,
what is
But
this?
that never happens.
Yeah.
it does nowadays.
Well,
Anyways, but that's
Fake
that's
news.
my UFO story.
that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
I
That's
don't, like I
cool
said, I
story.
don't know what it was,
Yeah,
but
it's a
it
cool
was really
story.
weird.
Okay,
What about you?
So before I've never.
No, same.
Yeah, nothing.
You just said something right now that reminded me of, you've seen that one movie, Fire in the Sky?
Yep,
Yeah, that's a cool movie, man.
that's insane. You
I
should
don't think
watch.
I've seen it.
You should watch
What?
it. You would love it.
Fire in the
It's
Sky?
about an abduction.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, based
they-
on a true story.
Wait, is it about the one?
That's right.
The,
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
the
based on a
couple,
true story.
the man, the husband and wife. That one.
No, just a man. Just a guy,
Just a
right?
guy
Yeah.
out in the woods. He gets abducted, and then they fucking
They do all
probe
these
him,
tests and
then they bring him back.
I never
and-
understood the probing. They're like, what's going on in his butt?
That's what we would do. That's
let's
shit. That's what we
find
would
out.
do.
Oh,
We
yeah.
fucking probe all over the place. We
Oh,
found
that's a
one of
great
these
question,
little
though.
fuckers.
It's a great
Yeah.
question.
Like, don't
But
they,
no,
they have
think
like
about-
technology
okay.
to scan you? This is a
Here,
scan.
yeah,
Why do
but
they have to like
let
insert?
me put it into perspective. Okay, you are an alien race.
Okay,
Mhm.
Yeah, you're an alien race.
you got a different
Mhm.
planet. You're like,
You're exploring. Yeah. Oh, hey, you found life.
what's happening over here?
Awesome. You found life. You found beings. You found humanoids or whatever. And
Yeah.
you go, oh my gosh, we got it. Animals. That's really what
Yeah.
they probably look
Creatures.
at it. Yeah, they found some creatures, right? So you have all this technology, and you get one up in your ship, and then you go, oh, they have
I don't know.
They have orifices.
They have 4 holes. They have 4 holes. Let's plug all of them.
Oh my God.
And run the test within.
It sounds like a super weird porno.
Yeah.
I know from our human, human mind.
Let's see what happens when all the holes are filled.
Let's find out when you push in and out.
Is it reacting? He's like, hey, Steve, come here. We got another one.
Okay, but before we jump into this, because this is going to be, like I said, multiple episodes, and I just wanted the audience to know where we stand right now.
Yeah.
So, the question is, aliens, yes or no?
100%. Easy. It's
Yes.
without a shadow
Aliens,
without a shadow of a doubt.
100%.
Okay, and then I'm gonna go with yes too.
Statistically impossible. To
I'm gonna go with yes too. Now
Yeah.
There's a backup question though.
Okay.
Okay, backup question.
Yeah.
Visiting.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
I think aliens live here.
Okay. Okay. So see, I'm
I don't know about that one.
so I'm yes to 1, but no to 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yes, 2, no 1. So you're all
Wait,
yes.
what?
Wait.
No. 1 is do they exist?
And then visiting.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. that's
Visiting
true.
is
I was like, wait a
Fucking
minute.
math.
So
God
wait a
damn
minute.
it.
Yeah, aliens are visiting, but they don't exist. Huh?
Sorry.
Think about it.
No, sorry.
gonna do a
No,
survey on this one.
No, number 3 was if they're living here.
Oh no! I just
that was-
I just
Wait,
said that
he
they
added
live
that.
here.
His
I
interjection.
added it. Okay, yeah.
Not crazy.
I
God
do
damn it.
believe that there are there's alien life forms that are currently habitating on Earth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just letting our audience know where we stand ahead of time.
So
you know?
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So if I get DMs, death threats because I'm a psycho,
Yeah.
I know. it was
So
you.
Sean and Jorge both believe that A, they exist, and B, they visit.
Correct.
Yeah.
I believe they exist, but I don't believe they visit.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Here we go. UFOs, everybody.
Yes.
So for the longest time, people have observed the sky and have sometimes seen what appeared to be unusual sights and strange phenomena in the skies, meteors, comets. At some point, we didn't even know planets existed, but you could see little sparks of light, and you could go, "What is that?"
And you looked at the heavens.
going way back.
What's happening here? What's going on up there?
Can you
What's
imagine-
beyond ourselves?
Can you imagine 1,000 years ago seeing the
Aurora
Borealis?
Borealis,
Yeah. Can you imagine seeing that?
Oh
You'd be
my
like,
God.
These are fucking aliens.
Oh, no, dude, it would be like it'd be almost like it'd be like a spiritual kind of thing.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
oh my God, like this is
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't imagine. I could be like, oh, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about UFOs a long time ago. Okay. So one of
Galaxy
the
far,
first,
far away.
so aside from pyramids where, there's drawings on the walls and things like that.
There are some recorded incidents out there.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And one of the first one is Halley's Comet. Yeah. So it was first recorded by Chinese astronomers in 240 BC, possibly as early as 467 BC, as a strange and unknown guest light in the sky.
What I mean, possibly 220 years earlier.
Well,
How's
because
it
you
poss-
allude to, back then they write in poetry.
the
they
sky,
allude to it
The
in-
sky was on fire.
Yeah, they allude to it, but we can track when Halley's Comet was coming.
Okay.
And so then you can go, oh, at that time, this dude wrote a poem about a
streak
guest
in the-
light.
yeah, okay.
A guest light.
A guest light.
Yes. So being a bright comet that visits the inner solar system every 76 years, it was often identified as a unique, isolated event in ancient historical documents, whose authors were unaware that it was a repeating phenomenon.
It had to be like an omen. And they're like, oh, fucking the emperor is falling.
I'm not even kidding. That would be so terrifying.
We're fucked.
If I saw it back then in 240 BC, it'd be like, die, get down.
I know. Get back to the hut,
Yeah.
honey. We gotta get the fuck out of here. Get to the chopper.
Such accounts in history were often treated as supernatural, angels, or other sort of religious.
Of
Yeah,
course.
I
That's
can
the
see
only
that.
way you
Yeah.
can explain it away.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, the sun god is coming to kill us.
Yeah, fucking Ra's
Yes.
fucking
Yes.
pissed.
I shouldn't have cheated on my wife with her, so now the sun god's going to come down and kill me.
Was he like, what the fuck? Is he from like, is he like fucking,
That was my accent.
he's like a restaurant owner in Mississippi?
That was my accent.
my wife was coming down to get me.
You don't think they had that accent back then?
Not in 240 BC China.
Sounds like some like Mississippi preacher.
I
or
know,
something.
right? And the Lord, he just said, he put his hands down on me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so but people who subscribe to this theory, they believe that there were ancient astronauts.
And they refer to ancient mythologies to support those viewpoints. They propose that the ancient creation myths, which describe gods that were descending from heavens to earth to instruct or create humanity, were in fact ancient visitors.
Yeah, like the Anunnaki and all that shit.
That's right. So that's what their belief in the kind of mix between religious and astronomy and UFOs. But essentially, those are UFOs. So if you saw a comet,
And you don't know what it is.
Yeah, and
it's
you're like-
fucking
you're like-
unidentified.
you're like, Papa, what is this? And then you go, oh, well, that's
That's a UFO.
It's-
son.
that's
also-
Amun Ra.
It's
coming
also
down.
because they didn't know what flight
Yes.
like,
Yeah,
they,
true.
they couldn't fly.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
No, I can't.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, dude, literally,
Absolute
just
terror.
absolute terror.
Even
It's-
a shooting star, I'd be like,
yeah. Imagine like you're riding on your horse through the fucking desert, then a Humvee rolls up, and you're like, oh my, what the fuck is happening?
True.
seriously. So in the ancient Sumerian myth of Unama-Elas, inscribed on tablets and part of the library of Ashurbanipal, it is mentioned that humankind was created to serve gods known as the Anunnaki.
Exactly.
Proponents of this hypothesis argue that the Anunnaki were actually aliens who arrived on Earth to mine gold for their own purposes and for their own civilization.
Mm-hmm.
And according to those proponents, the Anunnaki eventually realized that gold mining was harming their own race, and it led them to creating humans
Yeah, they needed the servant race to,
as
to
a
do it
form
for
of
them.
slave labor.
And they would supposedly the Anunnaki mixed part of their DNA with the
The humans and
the DNA of like the
apes.
apes or
Yeah.
other primitive inhabitants, and then created humanoids
Yeah.
out of that.
Where are you at on this story? I know you know a bunch about it.
Yeah, I've read a lot about the Anunnaki. I don't necessarily fully believe it. I mean, I definitely
Believe
think,
they were here.
I
and
definitely
they
think,
came.
yeah, I definitely think that they came and they were here after something. Gold is an easy thing to say, but obviously I don't know how valuable gold is as an element in the universe.
know, right?
Maybe they could
Yeah.
be coming from like
Yeah.
quartz or some shit. They're like, oh, this is the greatest material in the universe.
Also, I
don't
love
know.
that it's gold because it's what we think is valuable.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. I think
Yeah.
we might have dubbed
Yeah.
that in. I know obviously I get gold is very useful. It's malleable. It's conductive, and
Yeah.
it's all these things. But to an alien race, gold could mean nothing.
I know.
Like,
What if our asset is the least valuable to us?
it's like carbon?
yeah, like the most ridiculous thing. Yeah, then we're like we take for granted.
They're like, get all the dirt
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
all of it.
yeah, like trees. There's just culture. Oh my god, they have so many trees.
They're like, what the? We have 7 on our
Yes,
planet.
Yeah, it'd be surprising. So that's why I think it's kind of funny because
because we're adding in
gold
what
thing?
they want.
gold. Yeah,
But I
Yeah.
do.
But
I do.
so
think
you don't think they were ever here either?
no.
Eric doesn't think they
I know.
they're
Yeah.
visited.
No.
Just
I mean, it's hard to
clarifying.
say no because obviously there could be. You could label somebody something, and then that story forms.
Well, see,
So, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe Jesus existed.
me too.
Mhm.
Totally,
Right?
I totally believe Jesus was a real dude.
I don't know if I believe everything in the Bible, but
Yeah.
I do believe he existed. I do
Yeah.
believe he was trying to do good, and I do believe he was actually a great guy. I mean, in my view, I believe Jesus is a good guy.
I fully believe that.
But
too.
yeah, but I don't necessarily believe in all the in a lot of the stuff in
Yeah,
the Bible.
yeah.
So with that being said,
Because it was like a lot of different people that put the stories together and then passed them on.
Have you played the telephone game?
it's
Right.
it's 2,000-year-old telephone.
It's insanity. So it's billion people passing through a story.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
And there's also, if you look, I mean, I think there's something like 70 or 80 different iterations of the Bible.
Mhm.
Like that's what makes it okay. There's just
Yeah.
there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
yeah. Yeah.
Like,
But like I said, I do believe in a lot of what Jesus did
see-
or said, but I'm trying to use that as the analogy,
well,
like
that's
the comparison.
That's
right?
why I
Right.
believe the Anunnaki
Yeah.
actually did exist. Because if you look at, I mean, all the accounts are, people came from the stars and they came down and they became the
Yeah.
gods. So what's the only logical explanation? They're actually gods, or they're like other people are like, oh, look at these idiots.
Yeah.
Like when I come down, I'm like,
Or, I mean, to bring it down to earth a little bit, or it's a king who has a big ego who says, I came from the gods.
no, because he was like a
Hey.
baby at one point. And so like they had
No,
someone
but
had to like wipe his ass.
I know, but then you kill that person.
The only person
Very
that took
simple.
care of it.
Yeah, very simple solution. Yeah. And then you go, hey, let's get some writers together. Let's put together a wall. You know what I mean? Let's put together a wall.
I like these hieroglyphs.
Yeah.
Make me bigger. Make me bigger.
Yeah. What do you want to be called? What do you want to be called, Naki? Let's call me Anu Naki. Hey. Anyways, so I'm just saying I see that
I see
more
your side.
as a likely
I see your
progression. Because how many grandmothers told this story over a campfire? Millions.
I mean, but they also inscribed it. The oldest form of human communication on Earth has this data in it, which is the Sumerian ancient Sumerian text is the oldest text that we have of humankind, and
totally.
they are explaining. So I'm saying it's the
But
oldest
we also
reference
have
we have to humans.
just imagine we also have anime porn right now. And so just imagine if anime just imagine
have to do
Yeah,
with it?
I know. Where
just
are you going with
imagine
this?
anime porn survived
on the
10,000 years.
Sumerian text,
10,000 years from now. And then they're like, they must have been animated people having sex.
like real life animated people.
Yeah, it just happens to be what survived.
Who's to say there aren't?
Yeah, but
know what I mean?
10,000 years from now, everything's recorded
Do you
now.
think they didn't have...
They can be like,
do you think-
YouTube, let me look this
I know,
up.
right?
Do you
For
think
real.
they didn't have fiction stories back then?
Yeah. No, I do hear what you're saying.
Oh, so
Like,
you're
it,
saying-
it could definitely be something that morphed into this.
So
Yes.
Eric is saying like it's a Sumerian text are just like the oldest bedtime story.
Yeah, absolutely.
This, like,
Absolutely.
but they wrote it on like a stone.
Can you imagine in 10,000 years something goes really wrong and then all that survives is Peter Pan? And they're like, who lived in that time? Oh, it was in London. There was this guy named Peter.
The God
He was
child.
the god. Yeah, Peter was the god.
Peter
who
was
could fly.
a 200-year-old, 6-year-old.
Yeah, and he was immortal, and the devil was this guy named Hook.
And he was
It's crazy.
kidnapping your
Yes.
children.
Anyways, you
taking
see what I
them to-
mean? You could just kind of evolve it into.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyways, we're going on a tangent here, but we did say that this is a possible
The possibility
thing.
that this
So
would
here are some things that are petroglyphic evidence. Okay, and so this kind of more supports what you guys are saying.
Mm-hmm.
So supporters of ancient astronaut hypothesis point to a Hopi cave drawings of kanichis, which are spirit beings found in the desert, as a link between the origins of the tribes and star people. They also highlight similar etchings found in various locations as evidence of extraterrestrial visits to numerous ancient civilizations.
Yeah, they could have definitely been on peyote or something. Back then.
Yeah, I mean, here's the weird thing. And for the sake of anything, I don't even need to tell you all of these stories.
Yeah.
This is different tribes, different civilizations who all had a similar where they have, the god on the cave.
There's consistent. There's like
Yes.
some sort of consistency in terms of the story. So,
Yes.
so it's not completely different. That they gave him underground.
Yeah.
Like
Right. And they even have, there's some that have shapes. Egyptians have it too. The shapes look a little bit like a helicopter.
some sort of vehicle or like a space,
yeah.
almost like a space. Like,
Yeah.
see, there's one like looks like he's in a seat, like on a spaceship or something, like a
Yeah.
rocket or some shit.
Yeah, and you're like, well,
My
that's
thing
a
is,
little weird.
like would it really be like shaped like a rocket though?
I know.
That's
I
my
know.
only thing.
There's a couple that you could look up, and it's a bird, but it kind of looks like a plane.
It's a
Like
bird.
the-
It's Superman.
But like the wings are super straight, and it kind of has the body of a 747. And you're like,
a tube.
yeah, and it just has a beak. And you're like, well, and so that's So, and then you also have Da Vinci and his his inventions that were well ahead of his time. I mean, you have helicopters, but he's an inventor. So
No, but you also
argue.
You think there are interesting technologies that were super advanced in comparison to what their time? Like, for example, I think it was in the Greeks, and he created these defense systems using the sun and mirrors and shit.
Yeah.
That were like your fucking
yeah.
like a
I've seen
laser
that.
beam.
Yeah, they're rad.
And like, how do they make that shit with it? They didn't even had mirrors back then. He was using fucking gold plates to like reflect sun and like burn ships down and shit.
Right.
But we can't do that right now. Like, how the fuck did he do that?
I don't know.
1,500 years ago.
I know, but that I kind of chalk up to the ingenuity of man.
That's true.
Yeah.
I know you guys like that argument.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's
He always,
Eric's,
he always goes
that's
back to
Eric's
that.
excuse for everything.
I know.
How do we build something that can't be built? Man is a very ingenuitive thing.
So there's another story, and then you guys, I'm sure you've heard of it, which is the elongated skulls. Do you remember the elongated skulls?
The Egyptian,
Yeah, close.
folks.
Close. Yeah. Peru. Yeah.
Oh, really?
No, the Egyptians.
I totally thought Egyptian.
No, because remember they used to wear like the little things, and there was a whole concept. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm sure there was an Egyptian who did it. You know.
there was. I'm right about this.
Yeah.
You know I'm right.
Yeah.
I did
So-
not think Peru.
But you've seen those, right?
No, I mean Egypt.
No, but have you seen the elongated skulls and all that sort of thing?
Yeah, yeah.
You've seen
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I mean, you know, I think Indiana Jones did a movie on it.
Oh yeah,
The crystal
The
skull.
crystal.
yeah,
Yeah,
and it was
Oh,
really
yeah,
long
okay.
and all that sort of thing. Okay, so first up, before I start talking about it, what do you guys think about that?
I mean, I think that
They're long.
they're pretty long.
They're
It's
long.
a little weird.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
long. Yeah.
And maybe there's some sort of disease or something that could explain that, but I don't know what
Or
that
deformity
is.
or-
Maybe
Yeah.
it was aliens, you know? I don't know.
No. Let's take a wild fly.
Wild guess here.
left field here.
So in what is now Peru, the Paracas civilization, and they were around estimated between 750 BC and 100 AD. They deployed a strategy which was tightly wrapping the head in cloth
Oh yeah.
to elongate or deform the cranium.
Like for fun? Like why?
Kind of like I think it's the Africans, right? Then don't they
Oh, the
wear
neck thing? The
they
neck,
wear
the weird like
yeah,
neck chain?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, they elongate their neck.
But like why? What they even do
So
it
you're
with
trying
like
to
their
look good?
No, they even do it. You see, like the tribes people with like, the dishes and shit in their
Yes.
ears, and they're like, "Why do you have a tea dish in your ear?" They're like,
Oh yeah,
that's
the
shit.
big things. I know.
But why? But why? Let's elongate
don't
our
know.
skull.
Maybe they say
it
the
makes
same
us
thing.
smarter.
yeah, maybe, shit.
Maybe
Maybe
they
that's
say
what they
that-
thought.
Maybe they say the same thing about like stuff we do.
What,
Like
just,
fake
what are you
boobs,
talking about?
like-
Tattoos?
No,
or-
yeah, whatever. I don't know things that maybe we do now
Piercings,
that are that maybe they
tattoo,
go
yeah.
they say the same thing. They're like, why do these
like those people that
stupid
like
people
permanently make themselves into a cat or whatever. You seen that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, those people are fucking psychos, bro. Like,
There's a
so-
term for it.
What is it?
What is it?
Furries?
I don't know what it is. We'll have to
Oh, thanks,
We'll have
Eric.
to research
There's
that.
a term for it that I
Yeah,
cannot
don't know
tell
what it
you.
is, yeah. Okay, so in the 1920s, a Peruvian archaeologist named Julio Tello,
Okay.
yeah, did I do that
Julio.
good? Who established himself as the father of Peruvian archaeology, he uncovered hundreds of elongated skulls from that civilization, the Paracas. Some with partially attached scalps and hair.
Weird. What?
These artifacts, you can go see them. They remain on display at various science and museums around Peru and have become the subject of conspiracies, which is UFO enthusiasts and paranormal say they are extraterrestrial gray aliens.
Because I guess the Greys were supposed to have like the elongated head.
Yeah, the
Which-
bigger brains.
Which I was. I don't know. I'm
yeah.
like, okay. Like,
Yeah, I don't know about that.
sure,
I guess what you were saying, they're wrapping it to,
Mhm.
but it's crazy how you can change the body like that.
Yeah, you can
I always-
slowly morph it.
I saw something that gamers, they
Okay.
wear the headset so much.
Oh my god, I'm super excited for what he's gonna say. I don't know what. I don't know what it is. Go.
I saw this shit actually.
Yeah,
so they
okay.
buzz their head and they have
Okay.
like an indent in their
Oh,
skull.
yeah, I've
because
seen
they
that.
wear these headphones all the time for hours every day.
Why would you get earbuds at that point?
Is that
I know, right? Yeah.
Is that a real thing?
Oh yeah.
I saw it. Yeah.
Really?
You know, I saw a weird thing that it was like in ancient China. So for women, I don't know. I think they had said like what the station of the woman was,
Oh,
whatever. They would.
You're talking about the feet?
They would break their fucking feet.
Yes.
So that they could fit. So their feet look small and fit in these like tiny little shoes. And it's like
Yes.
you see their foot and it's mangled. They would like break their foot just to smash their foot into a shoe.
Because it's supposed to be like
It's-
more
yeah,
like
look,
beautiful or
it looks
whatever.
Cute.
Right?
It's
Yeah,
cute.
It's
Oh.
cute.
It's cute. Like a little,
Somebody had a foot fetish. And I'm gonna break your
Yeah,
feet.
the emperor's like break all the fucking
Yeah.
feet.
That's the early OnlyFans.
Nothing, nothing bigger than a size 5. Fucking break all
Yeah.
their feet.
Your feet's too big. Get out.
I know it's dead.
Off with their head.
I know, like,
Yeah.
like the dictator.
So since his findings, scientists have sought out the motivations behind the practices. And the elongation or the artificial deformation of the skull may appear unusual to us, but for the groups that practiced it in ancient times, and in some cases to this day, elongated and intentionally shaped craniums symbolized beauty and status.
Fucking some weird ass beauty.
Yeah.
Some awkward ass beauty.
You see like a girl walking down, you're like, damn,
look at that skull,
damn, that skull's super long.
I like big skulls.
Like, the thing is, I watched this. It was like a Key and Peele skit.
Yeah. No, they're Indians.
The Indian guy,
Yeah.
and he's
I
like,
haven't seen that one.
they're looking like saw like her ankle,
Yeah.
and he's like, you see
You
this?
saw an ankle? You saw an ankle?
and then there's something.
Yeah. That's pretty
It's
good.
so funny because like all they have to go off is the eye slit and then like the feet. Oh my god!
So the Maya also took a similar approach and likely used this to.
Whoa. Now you talking about my Mexicans?
Mm-hmm.
Careful,
Are they-
Eric.
Wait.
Mayans are from
I know,
Mexico.
but you-
Yeah.
But you recognize that?
What? I mean, it's a fact. They
He's
were
like,
from
you-
Mexico.
No, I
You
know, but I
identify
mean,
it. You
but
identify
you
as a Mayan.
But I mean, when like in your chats.
No, not really.
All right, it's like
My ancestors, Mayas, no.
So the Mangeto people who are in the Congo, they used a cloth to tightly bind the heads of female children beginning a month after birth
oh, it's yeah.
Damn,
in a tradition called Lupambo.
It just because the skull hasn't fully fused.
that's true.
And so like it's still
Yeah.
malleable. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's something that they did in regarding the women's elongated heads as a status symbol denoting attractiveness and intelligence.
It's like that bitch smart as fuck.
Yeah.
She's so fine. Look at that head.
So, but this hasn't really been seen since the 50s.
I would like to know.
Anyway,
I would like to
yeah.
know how long these motherfuckers live. They're like dying. In
Also,
their
I would like
20s
to
and
know,
shit.
like, what is the longest skull?
What is the most beautiful? The longest
Anyway, so that's pretty much the elongated skulls, and there's some studies that were done recently, and it was okay. These are not aliens; these are humans that
had
slowly
a weird
they
fetish.
Modify
slowly
their body.
they slowly morph
just
their bodies.
just less attractive.
Yes, yes, yeah, exactly.
This is
So,
your head instead of
I don't
your
know. I don't know if you subscribe to the elongated skull
No.
theory.
Yeah, no.
I think it's
Not
just.
really.
I think it's a bunch of people who are misguided, and they're like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
this is gonna be awesome,"
yeah.
and then we're. Those tribes people do a lot of weird shit.
I
You know,
True,
some like
true.
they have the weird welt tattoo thing, and
yeah.
then some they put the sticks through their face, and
Yeah.
this is what they do. It's their people. That's fine, but I don't think aliens are making them do it. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah,
But then, anyways,
it was pretty segmented just to like the elites, like the royals who had the elongated heads, meaning to say that like
Yeah.
they were like in essence descendants or offspring from
Yeah.
like the Anunnaki, and
Yeah.
they kind of kept that bloodline, and that was like the ruling power of bloodline.
Mhm.
Or if you bang your sister for 1,000 years,
Yeah.
you might look a little weird.
You might start to get a little deformed.
Maybe don't do that.
Why does the head look so weird? Yeah, fuck it, it's normal.
I don't know. Don't worry.
I'm the emperor.
Yeah, don't worry. Your grandma looked the same
question
way.
me.
I know, it's like, what do you say?
Yeah.
Kill him.
Anyways, I don't necessarily want to get into the alien part of it.
I mean, that's it's another topic.
It's another
It's another
thing
topic.
because there's a lot more content, and I don't want to not do it justice.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
So let's move to Rome. So Julius Obsequens was a Roman writer, and it was believed that he lived during the middle of the 4th century AD. The only work that's associated with him is something called the Book of Prodigies. So we don't know a lot about him, but there's one book, right? And it was constructed as an account of the wonders and the signs that he saw that occurred in Rome between 249 and 12 BC.
I mean, it was quite amazing, them creating running water and the aqueduct system and plumbing and all this shit that was
Yeah.
extraordinarily advanced, fucking out of control.
Man is extraordinary.
Ingenuity of man is extraordinary.
I'm gonna get a hat.
Man is extraordinary.
Man is wonderful.
Never doubt the power of man.
So an aspect of his work excited UFO enthusiasts because in his work is he's talking about the sky, things that are moving in the sky, asteroids, meteor showers, etc., and things that he can't
Explain.
So it's one of the first actual texts of holy shit, something's going on in the sky, and
It was like the first episode of Ancient Aliens on his.
But here's the part that you gonna go, oh well, this is ridiculous. Is he wrote it 400 years after it happened?
Oh, so he didn't even see it. He wasn't there.
Yes. So it's a second-hand account.
It's all. God damn
It's
it.
always a second-hand account.
It's like everyone who sees it's illiterate.
I know.
I know. What up?
That's why I think plagiarism.
And that one
is
guy
so
like
funny.
wants to like solidify his name. He's like, I'm gonna do a book about this.
Yes.
Get my name in the history.
He's almost first-hand accounts of.
Yeah, almost.
Almost first-hand.
Actually, what's funny is I was doing some research and I decided to abandon it. It was going to be on King Arthur.
Oh.
I thought it would be a cool, but it's more mythology.
Yeah.
It's not really, in our
Conspiracy.
thing.
Like-
Yeah, so I just kind of
Like pretty much like Merlin was an alien and it was like magic powers.
interesting thing that happened similar is King Arthur was written about hundreds of years later.
After the fact, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
why, if he was really that shit, why wouldn't it be
Yeah, so it's the same thing.
the
where
life
it's-
and times?
yeah, it's almost the creativeness of writers and
Of course.
coming up with story and
Yeah.
stuff. I guess it's original.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like, I think.
It's not a sequel. No, meaning it's creative.
No, I mean, like, look at
They come up with it.
look at how widely popular anything fantasy related is.
Oh yeah.
Because people are always, want things to be more than what their normal everyday grind is.
Right.
You want something outside of that. You want some sort of escape or release to like the magic and the fantasy and the how awesome things could be or are. Hey guys, it's us again. You ever heard of Patreon? Because we just started one. Exclusive content, Discord, which I'm still figuring out. But we get to talk.
You can suggest new episodes or just let us know something that we already talked about and you want to get in on the conversation. We're there for you.
We're also coming out with shirts and other merch.
There are 2 ways you can sign up for exclusive content. The first is through Spotify. There's a link in our profile description that links you to the Spotify premium page. And that's only $2.99 a month. And it gets you an ad-free experience and it gets you extra episodes that come out every month. The other way is through our Patreon. All you got to do is go to Patreon and search The Conspiracy Podcast and you'll find us. There are many different levels there, all giving different amounts of content.
Yeah, because guys, this really does help us. We do this virtually for free. So help us help you enjoy yourselves. That we don't know about.
It's called imagination.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right. So then in China, Shen Ku, 1031 to 1095, was a Song Chinese government scholar and official, and he was a polymath inventor, and he wrote a vivid passage in his Dream Pool essays. And it was about an unidentified flying object.
In his dreams?
His essays were called Dream Pool.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like literally had a dream. I had a dream there was something flying around.
He
Let me write
recorded
about it. Let me do a whole book about my dream.
Right.
He recorded the testimony of eyewitnesses in Anhui, Jingshu, and Yangzhou, who stated that a flying object with opening doors would shine a blinding light from its interior. It was shaped like a pearl, casting shadows from trees for 10 miles in radius and capable of taking off at tremendous speeds.
Whoa, that sounds like some fun. That sounds like the shit I saw off the Skyway, man.
I know, right?
Shining pearl, fucking fast as fuck.
Okay, so in Nuremberg in 1561, a woodcut, which is just a slab of the early printed things where they could put a design or an image on it, a woodcut by Hans Glaser appeared, and it featured a celestial phenomenon that was over Nuremberg. Right? And it was, of course, secondhand depiction of a atmospheric optical phenomenon.
So it's pretty much there's no first-hand
That
account.
looks like a pearl.
There's no first.
It shines light.
There's no first-hand accounts until 2020.
Some people then argued, half the people basically were saying, oh, this is a scientific revolution and something is occurring. But then the other half of the people were like, this is
some other shit
this
happening.
is UFOs. This is UFOs. So, okay. So fast forward again, and now we're in 1878, and we're in Texas.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're from the Denison Daily News, printed an article.
I already don't trust it. The Denison Diggly News.
Diggly Wiggly.
Diggly Denison News.
Diggly Wiggly.
Like the most trusted establishment in Texas. Like the fuck?
So they printed an article in which John Martin, a local farmer, reported seeing a large, dark, circular object resembling a balloon flying at wonderful speeds.
Wonderful.
And according to the newspaper account, Martin said it appeared to be the size of a saucer from his perspective. marking one of the first uses of the word saucer.
Because he's like a farmer. And he's like,
1878.
look like a fucking
At that time, ballooning was becoming increasingly popular and a sophisticated endeavor for the rich. It was a skydiving, hot air ballooning.
But they weren't fast though.
No,
they're slow as shit.
Yeah. They would literally be like, "There's a balloon," for hours, staring at the balloon.
Like, okay, so it's getting popular, but they weren't shaped like saucers.
And I've never seen a balloon that has moved at wonderful speeds.
Well, that too. But I'm just saying, even if fine, it's getting popular, but
would you ever use the term
wonderful
saucer?
Wonderful.
No, saucer to describe a balloon.
No, never.
Balloon.
I would say
saucer is known as being thin.
Yeah, thin.
A
Disc.
balloon
It's like
is
a disc.
known as being not thin.
Yeah,
it's
big,
like
fat
almost,
orb,
right?
Yeah, you call it. Man, I'm really ballooned up.
Like,
Doesn't mean I went thin.
saucer.
Yeah. So it's definitely the opposite of that.
Yeah.
From November 1896 to April 1897, United States newspapers carried numerous reports of mystery airships reminiscent of modern UFO waves. Scores of people even reported talking to the pilots, and some people feared that Thomas Edison was creating an artificial star that could fly around the country and attack everybody.
Thomas Edison, the consummate fucking criminal.
So he was
stealing everybody's inventions.
He was the famous tech
Here we
guy at
go.
the time, right?
No, but that's what I said.
No, I know.
Edison was he stole all the fucking Tesla's patents.
No.
And then
But-
he became like fucking,
But he was known as he was the famous person at the time.
yeah, of course.
So they put
I made
him-
the light bulb.
Yeah. On April 16th, 1897, a letter was found that purported to be an enciphered communication between an airship operator and Edison. When asked his opinion of the reports, Edison said, "You can take it from me that it is a pure fake."
Take it from me, the person supposedly implicated in this. Trust me, I didn't do it.
So from 1897 till about the 1940s, really died down.
Just nothing.
Nothing really happened with UFOs.
Everyone
Like,
had
there's not.
Well, everyone had their head down.
Yeah, they really. I don't know. Great Depression. you
Yeah,
know.
right. They're like, I don't give a shit what's
Yeah.
happening up there. I got to survive.
Now here's where it gets really wild, and we'll touch on this in a later episode. But theories are
I know what
that
you're
we
saying.
started to experiment with the nuclear weapons.
Yeah, like after and then they started showing up.
Yeah. So the theories are in the 40s, we started to really Manhattan Project and, Oppenheimer and all that sort of thing. We started to experiment in New Mexico,
Yep.
right? With nuclear weapons and testing.
Yeah. just
Then,
detonating them in the desert. Like, yeah, let's see what
then
happens.
in 1945, we bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? So the idea is that we shook the rafters of the universe. We alerted somebody.
They're like, you're picking up those.
We made noise enough to alert somebody.
Like, what's that noise over there?
Hey, Paul, I'm picking up some radiation in Sector 5. What the fuck's going on over there? I thought there were idiots over there. Come on, let's go check it out.
Send a couple idiots over there.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah, right. Let's send a patrol 2.
Check out Blue Ball 5. Blue Ball 5. Check it out.
Could you imagine if in the grand scheme, there's the Galactic Park Service? And Earth isn't there.
Why not?
Send some fucking rangers over there to see what's happening on Exhibit A.
Yeah. We're like little ants.
I know, right?
Get those goddamn fire ants again.
Oh my god, they're gonna kill themselves again.
Jeez,
Like,
man.
you know how much money we make off this attraction?
Remember those dinosaur ants? I mean, jeez, they really fucked shit up, huh?
Those dinosaur ants. We had to flick a rock at them.
Yeah. So, in World War II, Allied and Axis pilots, they reported seeing fire in the sky. They reported seeing some sort of lights, and they called them Foo Fighters. And that's where that term comes from. Some people think it was hallucinations from oxygen deprivation, possibly German rockets, possibly drugs, that sort of thing. But the airmen of the 415th Night Fighter Squadron said it felt like the beginning of the War of the Worlds. Lieutenant Fred Ringwald was the first to see it. He was riding as an observer in a night fighter pilot with Lieutenant Donald Myers on radar. It was late November evening in 1945, partly cloudy with a quarter moon. They were roaming the Rhine Valley just north of Strasbourg on the French-German border. Ringwald said, "I wonder what those lights are over there in the hills." There were 8 to 10 of them in a row, glowing fiery orange. Then the men saw them off right wing. They checked with Allied ground radar, but they registered nothing. Thinking that the lights might be some kind of German air weapon, turned the plane to fight only to have the lights completely vanish. At first, the men said nothing to each other because they thought they were going to be ostracized for it. But the sightings spread through the entire unit, and the entire unit saw it.
So some weird lights, and then they turned off.
Yeah.
But they were on the ground, though. The lights were on the ground, though, right?
Over there in the hills.
Okay, so it seems like
close.
they're on the ground.
Yeah. So, and then they started calling it, that's where the term Foo Fighters came from. But there's another story of that a month later or so. And it's 5 or 6 flashing red and green lights in a T shape. And the lights seemed to follow him, closing in to about 8 o'clock and 1,000 feet.
Oh, shit. So they were there in the air.
Before
this time
disappearing.
they're getting fucking...
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
why is their plane so slow?
Yeah. But, and then again, there's another one 5 days later where one crew reported 2 lights in orange glowing for 2 minutes and they peel off and run away. Very similar, kind of like to your story where you see something and then it just... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Then there was one by Samuel Krasny, lieutenant, a wingless cigar-shaped object glowing red just a few yards off his wingtip. Krasny, justifiably spooked, instructed the pilot to attempt evasive maneuvers, but the glowing object stayed right next to the jet for several minutes before it flew off and disappeared.
Oh, fuck that. Can you imagine you're looking over and you're like, Mission Command, I've got a cigar flying next to me.
Yeah, seriously.
No, that's like the one that recently came out that the guy called it the Tic Tac.
Yeah, the Tic Tac.
Yeah.
This was like white, but it was also kind of shaped like a Tic Tac.
Yeah, he's like, I've got a
got a
Oscar Mayer
Tic Tac.
wiener that's flying right next to me. Hot.
Right.
Coming in.
So eventually, airmen named the lights Foo Fighters, and it was from a comic called Smokey Stover, in which Smokey, which was a firefighter, would declare, where there's foo, there's fire. They call them Foo Fighters.
Where there's foo, what is it?
Like, it's just the fire. Where there's foo, where there's, like smoke.
I guess.
Where there's smoke, there's fire, Yeah.
Foo.
Anyways. By 1946, which is right after the war, 2,000 reports were collected of unidentified aerial objects.
Damn. I think some of those are probably, bullshit or whatever.
Some thought they were ghost rockets. Some thought they were V2, V1 rockets. Some thought they were... Not all of them are alien of origin, but
for sure. That's what I'm saying.
They're like, what is that? I have no idea. I never will know.
Yeah,
And
see,
that's
the ones where the guys in the planes are probably, to me, the most valid because
you're
not on the ground.
Right.
This thing is clearly tracking you, following you, and then breaks off.
Right.
It's really hard to mistake that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Whereas on the ground, I'm like, well,
Yeah.
sure, it looks like an alien to me.
So then in June of 1947, on a farm, a farmer stumbles upon some debris. And that debris was unknown, and it was foreign, and it was unsure. So he decided he should probably take it in. And so he did, and where he took it was Roswell, New Mexico.
Dun, dun, dun.
And that's where we're going to leave off this episode of UFOs, UAPs, and all that sort of thing.
The origins of.
The origins. So
the
these are
beginning.
this is just the history of UFOs, where they've been, you know what I mean, where they came from, who.
I mean,
it's been for thousands of years.
I mean, they seem to. It's almost every major civilization has had some little touch. Touch
and
on
we
it.
just touched on it. I mean,
Yeah.
the History Channel has made billions of dollars off of just having
my
a
God.
never-ending show
Literally
about every culture,
Ancient aliens.
and the guy with the hair and all
God,
that sort of thing.
the guy with the hair.
John
Who
Ophanopoulos.
has no reason to be on that show. He has zero qualifications.
But he's entertaining. He's entertaining. He's passionate.
His hair is entertaining.
Yeah, he's passionate.
I love they pull him
entertaining.
up and they're just like, I forget what they say under his name.
No, he's like Starship Newsletter.
Yeah, exactly. It's like literally it's his own blog. It's like this guy's legit.
Kind of like 3 dudes just talking about this shit on the podcast. Like, who are they?
Listen,
So true.
we have all
So
the
true.
we have all the credentials.
I love how we just talk smack about everybody else.
We're fucking qualified.
Yeah.
I went to school, almost got a degree. Very close.
So there you go. Next time we're gonna take on Roswell and everything that happened with Roswell and the cover up, and then we're gonna take on Area 51, and then we're gonna take on what's been happening lately.
Recently.
Yeah, the Chinese balloon being shot down by our military.
The commander that was on Rogan. With
David Fravor.
David Fravor. Yeah. So there's a lot more to.
Yeah, he's had a few on there.
Yeah.
Not
So
just him.
there's a lot more to be had. I don't know. What do you think so far on the history of it?
You know what I think, dude. Why are you even asking me?
Yeah, me and Sean are just like diving into the
even
next
our
one.
listeners
Let's
know what
get
I
into the
think.
next one.
The listeners are like, what? Like, pretty sure I'm still auditioning to be on H&M. I want to be an ex. I mean, I totally, I've always been on board on this. I mean, the universe is far too vast for, just us on this little speck of sand in the middle of a beach that's the size of infinity.
Yeah. So you think that in the past with some of these stories that they were people checking out Earth?
Yeah,
and then
That it was legit.
Yeah.
I think it
some
was,
of
I think
them
it was
are-
probably easy if you're bored and you're advanced and maybe you're like, sweet, I can just be a god for a little bit. Why not?
Yeah, but specifically those stories, I think, some could be legit, and then
Yeah.
a lot of them are just.
I
kinda
think
like
so.
fucking,
Some are crazy.
They don't know what the hell's going on. There's obviously no technology, no nothing, so it's scary. It's whatever, or it's one of those things like creative guy just writes something and puts a story down on paper.
Yeah.
That's very true.
And gets even more creative as he's writing it.
Yeah.
But
He's like, ooh,
But-
look, make all their heads all long. Yeah, there we go.
Make them look like aliens.
Ooh, what is an alien? I don't fucking know.
I love how they look exactly like us, just with a big head.
It's like, that is
changed like
Why?
one day.
yeah.
I know. I think it just we're so conceited
I
that
know.
like they have to look
They
like
have
us.
to look like us. It was probably some kid who's, I hate that chick. She's got a huge head. I'm going to draw her.
She said,
And that's it.
she's telling us boys.
Yeah.
Trust me, I saw her ship land
Super-
here.
What do you think?
I guess I was saying about the stories, some of those I do believe. In general, I do think that they have been, well, like you said at the beginning, I think they've been visiting for a long time,
Yeah. Yeah.
which we're going to get into in the next episodes for sure. And kind of, what's it called? Sustain my theory a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back support.
There
yours
you
too.
go.
Yeah, support it. Yeah.
I like sustain.
Sustain. Sustain.
All right, right on. Well, we got a lot more to go into. We'd love your feedback. Like we said, catch us with an email, send us a message. Whatever you believe in. Hopefully, we provide some information and some knowledge here.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next time on UFOs, UAPs, Part 2.
Yes, please.
Catch you guys later.
Nighty night.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to reach out to us, please email us at info@theconspiracypodcast.com. You can check us out on Instagram at @conspiracypodcast. Also, don't forget to subscribe. You can catch a new podcast almost every week. Just hit the little subscribe button at the top. It's a plus sign. We love show ideas, corrections, hate mail. Thanks a bunch.